Want more of me?
Me?
Go to MeTVFresno.com for schedules, information on your favorite shows, videos, pictures, and more. Go to MeTVFresno.com today. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
Hello, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with me on this Friday morning here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Today we're talking about garbage pickup in the city of Fresno. Should it be privatized or should it be left alone? We've got two guests in the studios, and your phone calls are important. Area code 559-265-4331 in just a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
So here we go. This should be a very interesting show on this Friday morning here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. We're live on Comcast 187 and 43.6 if you have an antenna. Today we're talking about garbage pickup here in the city of Fresno. Should it be privatized? Should it be outsourced by the city of Fresno? Or should it be kept as is? Your phone calls are important at 265-4331. Now I want to mention last month, it wasn't not more than a couple of weeks ago, the city council members took a vote as to whether or not to hire a consultant to examine this issue. You want to see what the vote was? Hey, how about those in favor? Let's put that up on the screen. Andreas Borges, who's going to be a Fresno County Supervisor, Larry Westerland, Lee Brand, and Clint Olivier all voted in favor to hire a consultant to examine the issue. Those against were Sal Quintero, Blong Jong, and Oliver Baines. Those are the people, city council members, that voted against hiring a consultant. Now I want to mention also that the people that you saw up there on the screen that voted on this issue just a couple of weeks ago, some of them were up for re-election, specifically Andreas Borges and Lee Brand. Now I hold in my hot little hands here some campaign contributions from solid waste companies. Andreas Borges took roughly $19,000 from solid waste as campaign contributions running for supervisor, and Lee Brand took roughly $5,000 or so of that money, campaign contributions. Now, I'm not accusing them of anything, but it kind of brings up a very interesting question. Was their vote swayed by these campaign contributions or not? I tried calling Andreas Borges twice. I called Lee Brand's office 2 or 3 times. No comment from either one on that subject. We'll get more into that later on. But let's take a live shot of our guest right now. Maurice Rubio of the Solid Waste Department, he is on your left, and Patrick Wiemiller of the Public Utilities Director for the City of Fresno. They are both here. They're both going to take your phone calls at area code 559-265-4331. We'll get into all of this outsourcing, the possibility of doing it for solid waste here in Fresno in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Okay, welcome back. I want to clarify too, Andreas Borges could not get a call back from him. I tried calling him. He's a city council member, to talk to him about this issue and some of those campaign contributions. Not accusing him of doing anything, just brought that up as a possibility and one aspect you got to look at. Larry Westerland did not want to come on the program. Lee Brand had a prior commitment, and Clint Olivier declined to come on the program. Didn't bother calling Sal Quintero, Blong Jong, or Oliver Baines because they are not in favor of outsourcing. They're in favor of keeping the garbage service as it stands now. So here in our studio, Maurice Rubio of the Solid Waste Department and Patrick Wiemiller, of course, the Public Utilities Director for the City of Fresno. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Okay, you are in favor of keeping it as is.
That's correct.
Is that right, Maurice?
That's correct.
Explain why.
It's anything outsourcing. We're keeping in mind here the objective is the citizens of the city.
Okay.
This doesn't favor the citizens of the city. In fact, not all the details that are around this situation are being put out for the citizens to know.
Be specific. Like what details?
For example, the rates they pay for the containers we pick up for their garbage, green waste, and recycling. With that rate, they also get a 1-year operation cleanup, which they can put anything out into the curb and we pick up. They get residents that are mentally and physically disabled. They get a special handling, which is we get out of the vehicles, pick up their cans for them from their areas, from their home, bring it to the truck, dump it, and replace them and put them back. They also get free oil recycling, which we pick up used motor oil and oil filters and leave them containers and bags for their next pickup. And all those are included in their rates that they pay just for their garbage containers.
Okay, Patrick, let me get to you now. This is not costing the city a dime out of the general fund to run the solid waste department. The solid waste department, their salaries are paid for through the ratepayers. They pay $80 a month, $86 a month, $90 a month, whatever it might be. So it's not costing the city one dime out of the general fund. Why is the city of Fresno so in favor of outsourcing?
Well, right now, I'm not saying that they're necessarily in favor of outsourcing, but are in favor of looking at all possibilities, including the potential for outsourcing, to try to resolve some of the issues that are surrounding this economically challenging time that we have. And so through an RFP process, a request for proposals, we can find out whether or not there are other private providers of the service available who might be able to do the job as cheap or less expensive and with the service levels, but importantly, they could also perhaps then pay a franchise fee. That franchise fee would help the general fund.
Okay, let's take a quick phone call before we move on. Good morning, you're on Connect with me. Specific question now about garbage pickup and outsourcing. What's your question? Hello?
I'm not in favor of outsourcing. All they're going to do is cut the pay, and it won't be good service, and they'll cut a lot out. And why doesn't the city ask the workers if they want to cut their pay some to be able to still have their jobs and cut some other waste? Because
Okay.
I worked at the Fresno Convention Center. My name is Kathleen Elia. I worked at the Fresno Convention Center, and I know what that outsourcing is. It just about did away with the convention center, as you can see. The Save Mart Center, they privatized it. They got the same person to run it, and there's nothing in between, so that we have better concerts downtown. And Fresno State is taking all the money from the city, and they cut a lot of stuff out. The convention center, Save Mart, that's in charge of it.
Okay. All right, I appreciate your phone call. Let Patrick respond to that. Go ahead. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay.
Well, at this point, I think it's important to go through the request for proposal process, because that's the only way we're truly going to be able to assess whether or not there are savings to be had or not. And it's only once we've gone through that process that we'll have the information in hand to be able to compare our current city-provided services versus what others may propose.
All right, I want to put some bullet points up on the screen so the viewers can kind of understand this a little better. The city of Fresno, let's take a look at these bullet points as we put them up, keeping them up there just for a minute. This is what would happen if the city of Fresno outsourced the garbage here in the city of Fresno. They would sell the services to a private company. That company would pay a city franchise fee of about, roughly $2 million a year to the city, and the city could use that money for other things at their choosing, at their will. The question is it legal? According to Prop 218 and Prop 26, it would not be legal because why, Maurice?
The rates that ratepayers pay for their garbage service, according to Prop 26, have to stay within the realm of service that it only pertains to solid waste, services that we provide back to the residents.
Okay, but they're not, the city would not be taking direct franchise fee money to use it. They would be taking, or the rate pay, they would not be taking the money directly from the ratepayers. They'd be taking it from the garbage companies, the pickup companies, the solid waste companies. and that franchise fee would be used for other things.
That's correct.
So it's kind of a loophole, is it not?
It is. And actually, it's a very convenient loophole for the city because the technicality of it is the fees, the money the ratepayers are paying is originating from the ratepayers. Regardless of it getting funneled through a private company and coming back to the city, it still originates from the ratepayers for garbage service.
Okay, so it's illegal to take the ratepayer money and use it for something else. But in this case, if they outsource, the ratepayers would pay, obviously, to the private companies, and then the private companies would pay the franchise fee to the city. Is that not a loophole, Patrick?
I don't know how to categorize that one way or other as a loophole, but I do know that, for instance, Prop 218 has been in place since 1997. In those 15 years, there are hundreds of jurisdictions, different cities around California, that have outsourced and collected franchise fees on their solid waste and other utility services.
But doesn't Prop 26 tighten up the regulations on Prop 218 a little bit?
Well, I'm not an attorney, so I imagine I'm not sure how to characterize that myself, but so far I'm not aware of any jurisdiction that has had to turn back or peel back their franchise fee collection process as a result.
All right, one more bullet point I want to put up on the screen before we go to break. The reserve fund now for commercial pickup. There is about $12 million in the bank right now as far as the reserve fund is concerned for commercial pickup. For residential pickup, it's roughly $16 million. These are all rough figures, a total of about $28 million in the reserve fund. Patrick, it is not legal for the city to tap into that reserve fund to fill the gaps in the debt, right?
That's correct. Those reserves funds exist as a result of ratepayers' payment for over and above the direct cost of operations for future liabilities that exist with that operation. So correct, we can't merely take money out of reserves and switch them over for general fund
But they
use.
can borrow money or borrow against it, right?
They could borrow it, but it would really need to be what I'd term as an arm's length borrowing. There'd have to be an agreement in place. There'd have to be a payment of interest that would replace the lost interest earnings from the fund, and the city would have to identify the source of repayment in a specific time period.
All right, we'll get back to you guys in just a moment.
Sure.
We do have to take a break. We have a call waiting. We will take your calls here, 265-4331. Back in a moment with a solid waste discussion in just a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new, fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
Solid waste outsourcing here in the city of Fresno is the topic and discussion. We've got Maurice Rubio and Patrick Miller from the city. We've got a phone call. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question specifically about solid waste now?
I'd like actually 3 quick questions. Senior rates, will private companies give the seniors a reduced rate? The surcharge that Comcast and PG&E charge for their franchise fees, isn't that considered actually a tax, and will the same thing happen? And also, if the city is serious about saving money, how come they just hired a part-time employee for nearly $80,000 a year as a police auditor?
Well, I'll let Patrick pick that up since you work for the city. Go ahead. 3 questions.
Okay. And let me recall. Could you give me that first one just real quick?
Will seniors get a discount if you outsource?
Yeah, that's really up to the private haulers. We've got to go through the request for proposal process to see what, if any, that a private company might suggest as their rates for senior discounts.
The franchise, will there be a tax on the franchise
No, not
fee?
a tax on the franchise fee. There are franchises in essence that are already in place with other investor-owned utilities, and so that franchise isn't much different than what's being proposed here with this operation.
And a question that has nothing to do with garbage, but why did they hire a police auditor for $80,000 a year part-time? I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, that's not a utilities issue, and so. But my understanding is that a police auditor was hired because that was the desire of the community and of the administration to help ensure that the police services are above board and fair to the community.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that the franchise fee is to help alleviate the deficit in the general fund, and that auditor's coming out of the general fund.
Yeah.
You want to pick that up, or?
Well, I think you just made a statement.
Yeah,
I didn't hear a question in that.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your 3 questions. We're kind of tight on time, and we appreciate you waiting so long to call in. I appreciate that. Let me put some more bullet points up on the screen. Specifically, these are targeted toward you, Maurice.
Sure.
The city is claiming, now check this out, by privatizing, the city says, hey, the rates are going to be cheaper, all right? The services will be more efficient, and there will be more competition. Do you agree with that?
Do not completely.
All right, explain why.
Rates will not be cheaper. There isn't a
How
possibility.
can you be sure of that?
Because the service we provide for what it costs.
All right.
Not a penny more. And as a matter of fact, last year there was a utility advisory committee that was formed of 9 people. Each council member being able to appoint 1 person, the mayor being able to appoint 2. They actually advised council and the mayor in March of last year that the city should be slated for a 3% rate decrease over the next 5 years, amounting to a 15% decrease over the next 5 years at the end of those decreases. For at that rate, there's no way a profit company can come in and say they're going to beat our rate to benefit the residents and then still hold their profit margin and make money, pay the city their franchise fees. It's impossible.
Okay, we'll pick up on that in a moment. We'll let you respond, Patrick, after this quick phone call here. Good morning. Quickly, your question about solid waste. Hello?
Yes, this question is for Patrick. The city got in trouble for charging in lieu fees a while back, and I'm wondering what the difference is.
Well, an in lieu fee is a fee that was being paid by the utilities department to the general fund in lieu of property taxes, and that was not only being done within the city of Fresno, that was a somewhat common practice around the state, and it was, I believe, in 2005 that there was a court case that decided that that was not a legal activity, and in Fresno's case, Fresno happened to be the presenting case in that, and in Fresno's case, we discontinued the practice and we lowered utility rates as a result. That is different because that was payment coming directly from the utilities department rather than one that's coming from an outside private provider.
But it was coming from the ratepayers, right? They were paying the in lieu fees, and isn't that why Prop 26 and 218?
Yeah, I don't think the in lieu issue was not a Prop 218 issue itself, but rather was specifically to in lieu fees, and again, that was found to not be legal based upon the direct payment from the enterprise to the general fund, and that is a separate issue than franchise fees.
I appreciate your phone call, ma'am. Thank you for waiting so long. I appreciate it. Now, let me ask you something before I get into that. Prop 218 was put in place. Prop 26 was put in place because they didn't want to take ratepayer money and use it for something else in the general fund, like, say, police or fire or whatever. But if you outsource, now you're not using ratepayer money. You're using a franchise fee that's being paid for by a private company. So if that's the case, if the city is making $2 million a year, say, from Mid-Valley Disposal, then Mid-Valley Disposal is going to charge the customers, us, obviously, enough money so they can cover that $2 million. So how can you guarantee that rates will be lower than they are now, Patrick?
Well, that's why we need to go through the request for proposal process, because what we are having them propose is the rates that they would charge. I've heard a number of council members...
But you can't hold a private company to a certain rate for the next 10, 20 years. It's a private company. It's a free enterprise system.
No, we actually have terms within the agreement within the contract that is part of the request for proposal, so they
Okay.
can see what the draft agreement is, and it does limit increases specifically to cost of living type increases, similar to what we would have as a city proposal. So yes, indeed, we can hold them by contract to the rates that they propose.
Okay. Gentlemen, I appreciate you being here. Stay tuned. Don't move. We got more to come. Here on the program, Connect with Me. Solid waste is the topic. Your phone calls are important. I see we got one caller waiting. We got to take a commercial break. Connect with Me. Daily Deal is coming up with Lauren Boothillier in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the go big, thin as in, flats where it's at place. The HD 3D web-enabled electronics and TV place. You following me?
LG's 50-inch flat panel TV is great for sports, and the 600 hertz subfield driving virtually eliminates motion blur. Get it now for just $5.99.
At the big screen surround sound, no more $12 popcorn place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Howdy, I'm John Malos, and I'm here to tell you all about me. Me TV, that is. When nothing else matters but boots and chaps and cowboy hats, Me TV is where you ought to be. From the Cartwrights on the Ponderosa to Marshall Dillon keeping peace in Dodge, Me TV is your station for Western hits like Bonanza and Gunsmoke, the Big Valley branded Rawhide, the Wild Wild West, and more. So dust off your boots and saddle up and visit MeTVFresno.com to learn how to get Me TV for free.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want. Save now on Frigidaire's Advanced Affinity Laundry Pair. Let Frigidaire save you energy, water, and time. Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
Back on the showroom floor at Ventura TV, I'm Lauren here with your Connect with Me Daily Deal for Me TV viewers. The Daily Deal is this top-load washer by Amana. This is a great washer because it is simple to use and lets you be in control. With 3 different load size options and 3 water temperature selections, you can choose between small, medium, or large load size and cold, warm, or hot temperatures. You also have different cycles that you can choose from depending on what kind of clothes you are washing. And you can tell what status of the cycle you are in from your cycle status light indicator. But the one great feature about this washer that sets it apart from typical top-load washers is its dual action agitator. This is constantly rotating your clothes from the top to the bottom to make sure that every article of clothing in that load is being washed thoroughly. The regular price of this unit is $459. But Ventura TV's everyday low price is $399. But for today, the Connect with Me Daily Deal price is $359. And on top of that, we're going to throw in a 10-year warranty on the compressor, which is an $80 value, yours for free. Normally, these warranties are sold for 1 year, but this is a 10-year warranty, a deal that you cannot pass up. Your total savings is $180 for this daily deal. Home Depot has this same unit, but it's not in stock. So come into Ventura TV and pick up your washer today for the daily deal good through tomorrow at noon.
Hey, good deal. Thanks, Lauren. I got some clothes that need washing right now. Anyway, we're back with our 2 guests, Maurice Rubio and Patrick Wiemiller from the city of Fresno in just a moment, including your phone calls.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready, steam-equipped, high-efficiency Frigidaire Affinity place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
And welcome back. We're here with Maurice Rubio with the Solid Waste Department here in the city of Fresno, and Patrick Wiemiller. He is the Director of Public Utilities in the city of Fresno. A phone call has been waiting for quite some time, so guys, let's take it. Not that patient, I guess. All right, let me put some more bullet points up on the screen, and Maurice and Patrick can both respond to this. The Solid Waste Division now, you've got 3 pickups, 3 different containers, as we all know. You got curbside pickup once a year. You also provide services to those who are disabled or that need assistance, and you pick up used motor oil in the city of Fresno. These are not additional costs to the customers of Fresno. Is that right, Maurice?
That is correct.
Okay. Patrick, how can you dispute that? I
Well,
mean, that's a great deal. Why would you want to outsource? That's such a great deal.
Well, we plan for that to be the same setup, whether the city of Fresno is providing that or a privatized company. The request for proposal covers all of those services that you had on your slide.
So the services won't change. They'll stay the same, is what you're saying.
The one exception that I'd say that we're looking at has to do with that once a year, what we call Operation Cleanup.
Yes.
That even if we leave the operations, all operations with the city of Fresno, we're looking at possible other ways to deliver that service. But that's really a separate question of whether we franchise or not. We're looking at
That's
how
a
we...
great service. I've used it myself. I love that service. So
Well, and we
gotta
don't
keep it.
We don't plan for it to go away. We're just talking about perhaps a better way to deliver it, like looking at the possibility of scheduled or on-call service.
All right. Quick phone call here before we go. We've only got 2 minutes left. Quickly, what's your question about solid waste?
My question is for Patrick.
Hi, Marina.
I want to know how it is that you can hold the rates that you're saying are going to be when the county islands are paying more.
Hi, Marina. How are you?
I'm good, Patrick.
Thanks for your call, Marina. Appreciate it. Go ahead, quickly.
Yeah, we don't know what the rates are going to be, and that's why we're doing a request for proposal to see if rates are cheaper out there or not.
Okay.
Haven't you stated that the rates are going to be 15% lower? And my point is that currently the rates with county islands are about 40%, almost 40% more than the city rate.
Yeah,
so how can they be 15% less, Patrick?
Well, the consultant's report estimated that there might be savings of up to 15% in that regard. From my standpoint, I think we need to wait and see what comes forward in the request for proposal.
Okay, we're almost out of time, but Marina, I appreciate your phone call very much. I don't want to get cut off the air because we have a hard out at 11 o'clock. This is how many...
No problem.
Okay, thank you for your phone call, and call in again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is how many workers will be affected. Let's put the bullet points up on the screen. If they do go to outsourcing, you've got 86 drivers, you've got supervisors, office staff, recycling division, mechanics department, dispatch, operation cleanup, as we mentioned before. Patrick, will these employees keep their jobs?
Well, the part of the request for proposal includes providing employment, transitional employment for the employees that would otherwise be displaced out of this. And
are you believing that? You think you'll keep your job?
I don't know.
If they outsource.
I don't. There's going to a private company. There's no guarantee.
You've been with the city how long?
16 years.
And what do you do specifically?
I drive a solid waste vehicle for solid waste division, and I pick up green waste.
Okay, guys, isn't this just a way of the city making money? Isn't that why they're maybe in favor of outsourcing? It's a money-making operation. Quickly, Patrick, we're going to run out of time.
Well, I think we always have to look and see what is available in the best interest of the ratepayers.
Okay, gentlemen, hey, lively discussion. Come back again, would you? We'd love to have you back. And you too, Maurice.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with what goes on at the city on this decision. Outsourcing, I don't know. We'll be back Monday. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend.